Awesome. All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for that lovely introduction. I actually wasn't feeling the best this morning, but that quickly went away when I got to see all my people online. So thanks for coming here. So we're gonna jump up into our warm up today. If my camera's off a little bit, don't be shy to speak up in the chat, just to let me know if I'm out of focus. Today we'll be needing. If you have baby water bottles or some type of weight, that's great. If you don't, no worries. Remember, you could just remember to contract your muscles, create some bit of tension, depending on what we do today. This is just going to be the prime example of what my weight's going to be today. So it's not like the normal 10 pounders or the 2-pound weights that I use. So, and also too great for hydration, you know, because it is, the weather's getting hot and humid again. So remember to stay hydrated, wear your sunscreen. All right, everybody. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to jump up into our warm up. So if you girls and gals know me, we're just going to start with our shoulder rolls going backwards. Nice and slow, nothing crazy. And what I want you to do as your shoulders going back, I want you to sort of dig into your shoulder blade. And what I mean by that is that I want you to create a little bit of tension. Today we're going to be doing a lot of upper body and some core work. And then we're going to wrap it up with some cardio movements. All right, so you're just going to take that. Now, when you feel nice and loose, you can stop. Remember, it's just a warm up, so don't go too in depth with it. All right, and now we're going to do our shoulder rolls going forward now. So we're going to go forward, and it's like scrunching your shoulders, almost like towards your neck. See how my shoulders are going inward? And for my people who are a little older, feel free. You can start your warm up sitting down, or you could do it standing with me. And what we're gonna do today, we're just gonna follow along with me. So we're gonna get into like a wide stance. We're gonna go up. So what I'm doing here, my feet are in a wide stance. My hands are going straight up, and my back is just a little curved. Okay, nothing crazy. We're just gonna open up our airway. Just gonna bend back a little bit, and then we're gonna come forward. Okay. So like I'm touching you guys are reaching out to me. For anybody with back problems, I don't suggest go all the way down. If you do have a back issue, you can literally just come forward and like reach towards the screen this way. For anyone who's able or who's flexible enough and who doesn't have a back issue, you could just come all the way down. You don't have to touch the floor, but you could just hang with it for a little bit. We're going to spend a little bit of time loosening up today, and then we're going to get into the heart of our workout. All right, so we're going to do one more now. We're going to reach towards the sky again. We're going to come up. We're going to reach, or we're going to pull back. You can just hold it for a couple seconds. Take a deep breath. And on your way back towards the screen, towards me, you're going to let that air out. And we're going to go down. We're going to do one more, but I'm going to end up here, okay? So anyone who has a back injury, you know, so we're not landing on the floor. All right, we're going to go one more up. Gonna take a deep breath. And hold it. We're going to stretch back. Down. And we're going to stop it right here, okay? Just for anyone with back issues. Excellent. All right, everybody. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to loosen up our lower body. So for anyone who's standing with me, we're just going to take our leg. I have a chair here. If you have an aid, work with your aid. Hold on to your person. I'm just going to pretend for a second that this is my partner, and they're going to help me. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take my left leg, and I'm just going to rotate my hips a little bit. I have a knee injury on this side, and it's exacerbated a little bit. So I kind of like to make sure that my lower body's loose so that I don't end up like hurting myself or exacerbating an old injury, which some of you may have if you're former athletes, if you've trained. And in general, it's always good to loosen up and warm up before you work out. A lot of people think like they jump right into the workout, and that's actually how you cause injury. So all I'm doing, I'm opening up my thigh muscles, my leg muscles, and my hip muscles all in one go. I'm just rotating it back, and now we're going to do that same motion going forward now. So almost as if you're coming forward with it. And just a little circular motion. You can lift it as much as you need to. The whole point of it is just to open up your hips. Another exercise you could do is like my little side kicks. stand straight, you hold your person and just go out, and you could also come up. That's another exercise you could do just to kind of open up your hips a little bit. Whatever is easiest for you. Again, this is just 2 alternatives. So I'm gonna switch over on this side now. I'm gonna do that same exercise. Again, I have my my left hand locked here, just for stability purposes, so that I don't fall if you need to. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring the leg up, and I'm gonna go forward this time. So we're gonna go this way. So we're just opening up our leg. I'm a little tight right here. You know, so for me, like what I like to do is I like to just bring some circulation into that area. And you just take it a couple times. Again, you don't have to keep up at my speed. It takes my body a little bit longer to sometimes warm up, just because as an athlete, you know, you build a certain tolerance and a threshold. And what a normal person does, you know, they could be sweating, they could be warm, and it takes my body like twice the amount of reps. So go at your own speed, and when you feel that your body's loose or your hip is loose, you can stop. All right, so I'm gonna stop there, and then I'm gonna do the same thing, rotating outward now with that same leg. And again, if you have any trouble rotating your leg out, what we could do is we could just do our little side kicks. So you come up. Again, the whole point of it is that I want to open up that ball and socket joint in the hip. That's really all I'm trying to do right now. Nothing crazy. I'm just trying to bring a little bit of circulation into that area, get it nice and loose. So either way, whatever you feel comfortable with, you can either go forward, you could go back, or you can go side and up. All right, guys. I feel like, you know, when your coffee doesn't kick in. That's where I'm at right now. We're still 5 minutes away. All right, everybody. So what we're gonna do is, so we can get our energy up and get our heart rates up and our respiratory rate up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a light jogging place. And one thing you could do, I'm gonna show it seated. I'm also gonna show it standing. So depending on what your level of athleticism is, you can do it either way and still get a great workout. So we're gonna come up. What I want you to do, I'm gonna jog for about 30 seconds. I'm gonna count in my head. And when you see me slow down, it's because I'm going from the 20 count all the way to the 30. And I'm slowing my body and I'm easing my body into the end until I hit my end point. I never like to abruptly stop, you know, for heart reasons. It's also good to not to come from an elevated to a low state like that. And what I want you to do is my hands are closer to my center. And I'm gonna move my hands. So I'm gonna pause for just a second because I wanna show everybody seated. For my people who are running or jogging in place to get that heart rate up, I want you to bring your knees off the ground. I want your hands to come up. I have mine pointed like I'm almost like a skyscraper, like I'm pointing towards the sky when I run. And make sure that your arms and your bodies are linked, meaning that they're trying to keep up with each other. That there's one fluid motion every time I go up and down. I'm gonna slow down. I'm gonna show everybody seated. Keep jogging if you're jogging with me. If you're here, right, it's the same thing essentially. So if you have to sit down for whatever reason, I want you to go a little bit faster. So what that means is I want you to pick up the pace because you're not using all of your core muscles as you're running, as you're jogging. So in that case, you'll compensate for anyone who's sitting down. You'll move a little bit faster. I'm gonna stand up because it's easier for me. It's a little bit more difficult for me, but if you have to stay seated, and then in 30 seconds, you can stop. For anyone who wants to actually jog with me now, I'm gonna do mine for 30 seconds now. So I'm just gonna get my heart rate up. I'm gonna take my deep breath. All right, I'm at my 20. And we're good. That's how you're gonna stop. So once you hit your 20 mark in your head or your 20 seconds, that's when I want you to take your rate and slow it down until you come to your end point, okay? All right, so now we're gonna get into it. Our first thing that we're gonna do is something called crisscross punches. So a lot of you know me, I'm a mixed martial artist, I'm a boxer by nature. But I like kind of taking little elements of that, incorporating it, so it's just more cardio and it's less stress, less strategic. but you do learn a little bit of strategy with me, but it's serious, but it's fun, you know? We're not preparing to go train. We're not going into a training camp where it's really serious. All right, so what we're gonna do is, and I'll show both the modified and the standing. All right, so I'm gonna get into my wide stance. This I would say is tree trunk. This is one of my famous like lines because I use it all the time. It's just a wide stance generally, and my feet are out. That's all it is. What I like to do is, I'm gonna come down almost as I'm sitting into it. My knees are out, as you can see, and so are my feet. So my feet come out like this. My knees are bent. My back is erect, and my front is straight, okay? So what I don't want is I don't want you over here, or I don't want you to slightly bend, unless you need to, if that's the more comfortable. But again, if you don't have like, you know, the strength in your back muscles, it's gonna hurt later, and that's what we're trying to avoid. So we're gonna go down, and this right here is actually gonna work all of your lower body muscles, but the whole point of this exercise today, it's really, these are more of like the accessory. What we're doing is upper body right now. So the crisscross punch is very simple. So what we're gonna do is it's gonna be a straight 1, 2, except you're not gonna be doing it with pads. You're gonna just go 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. And when you do it, you see how my whole body comes out? So when I'm punching, even though I'm stationary to the ground, I have a little bit of flexibility and mobility in my core because we're gonna be focusing on this, but it's also an upper body workout, you know, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna do 3 sets of 10, and I'll show you what one looks like, and I'm just gonna show the seated version of this for anyone who needs to be seated. So you can bring your legs out. You can't have them in a wide stance like this with your feet firmly planted to the ground. What I like to do is you're gonna push your booty a little bit off where you're not gonna have that support of your back, just because again, we wanna engage your core just enough. So we're gonna come up and we're gonna go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So when you complete the 1, 2, that's 1 count. So this is 1, 2, and etc. Okay? I'm gonna stand for this just because, again, boxer by nature, I'm always on my feet. So we're gonna get up. So you have 2 options. You can either stand with me or you can sit down with me. It's up to you. So I'm gonna scoot this over. Again, for all my ladies, we're gonna get down, we're gonna get low. We're gonna sit into that position like we're squatting. Our back is straight, so we're not hunched over. We're gonna come here, hands up, and we're gonna start. So the first count, guys, is 10 altogether, and we're gonna take that for 3 sets total, so it's gonna be 30 reps in total, okay? So we can count together, you can count with yourself, it doesn't matter. I'll tell you when the next set is, and we're going on to our 20th one, okay? So we're gonna go up, all right, start. 1, 2, 1 more. All right, excellent. So that was our first 10. Body's nice and loose. You can do a little fit fire with me to kind of loosen up your legs. All right, so that's the first set. And what you're doing here, just loosen up your legs a little bit. Just stand in place, and if you gotta move them, because we're gonna get back to that position now. Okay? So we're gonna squat, and we're gonna do another 10. So we're here and go. 1, 2. And for this, you can pretend like you're hitting a target so that way your punches will go out straight. Me personally, a rule of thumb, when you're throwing, when the punch comes out, go straight out, like turn your punch. You see how like the camera follows me? My punch is straight in this angle, like there's a target here. And I automatically bring it back to my face and go out this way. And I'm turning my punch over when I throw it. There's a target there, and I'm hitting it, okay? So that's 2. We're gonna go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Remember to engage your core. And I'm slouching up here, so I gotta get it up. 8, 9, and the last one, 10. Excellent job. We're gonna bring it back. It's for a little foot fire. And this is nice and light. This is at your own pace when you do your own little foot fire. You're gonna take it for about 10 seconds. I remember when you're going from 5 to 10, slow it down. All right, and now we're gonna get back into that last set. All right, so tree trunk. We're gonna go down, feet out, pop your booty out, straight up, hands up, and we're gonna finish strong for this first set. That's 2. It's number 6 we're going on. This is number 9 now. Already, I'll go, right? One more. Excellent. We're gonna come up. Bring it into our little foot fire. So we're gonna do that for 10 seconds now. You're gonna count in your head. Remember to breathe. We go to 5. Take down, that's slow. 9 and 10. All right. Everybody with me? We're good? All right, excellent. All right, so that's the first part of our upper body. We're not done yet though. We have a long way to go today. But I hope your energy's up. I hope your blood is circulating, gets you nice and loose, you're nice and warm, and you're a little bit more energized because God knows I was dragging before I got here. All right, so what we're gonna do is now, the next exercise is something that resembles almost like a pull down. And for some of you who are not gym goers, or maybe you do, you know exactly what I'm referring to. It's a little triangle that they use, and there's a weight attached to it. So if you picture that, there's a weight here, a pulley, and this little triangle, right? So I grab onto this triangle, and I pull it down, and there's weight on it. And another exercise that they do is they take that same weight, let's just say, they grab onto this thing, right? And they bring it down, they bring it this way, they bring it forward. It's almost like a lateral side bend. So we obviously don't have our weights. We have like our little water bottles, but that we'll get to that later. What I want you to do is, I want you to resemble something, just a pull down, very simple. And what I want you to do is you're gonna follow along with me. We're gonna pretend like we're gripping onto something. Just gonna grab it. We're almost like we're grabbing the air. We're gonna come down. And I want you to tense the muscle. And then we're gonna pull back up. And as we come down, our knee is gonna come up and we're gonna touch our elbow to our knee. Very simple. Now, what makes this exercise a little bit more difficult is that you're not just grabbing the air and bringing it down, you know, because that's simple. There's no challenge there. The challenge comes when you have to do that either 10, 20, or 30 times and you're doing the same repetition on one side. That also, when I want you to grab, I want you to tense your muscle as if you would if there was weight on it. Because normally when you have like a 5 or 10 pounds on you, you know, you do that same weight for 10 reps and then your muscle starts to burn. So we're gonna mimic that together. So instead of just, you know, touching the air, I want you to contract your muscle, I want you to contract your biceps, and I want you to pull. And when your leg comes up, I want you to touch and then go back up. Okay? And we're gonna be doing the same thing on the opposite side. Okay? So we're gonna come up, we're gonna touch, we're gonna go down. And we're gonna take it nice and slow. It doesn't have to be crazy in terms of speed. It's more about the quality of the workout. So we're gonna come up like we're bending, we're contracting, we're gonna go up. And you can come up this way or you can come up this way. To me, it doesn't matter. You could do both. 1, 2, or you could just keep it straight. The whole point of this is that I want you to almost do like the lateral pull down. Again, when it's more lats to the side, but the whole point of it is I want you to take it and just contract your muscle and bring it down. So not only are you contracting your biceps here, you're contracting your abs and you're forcing the leg to come up to meet you. Okay, so very simple. And what we're gonna do is, let's see, we're gonna do 3 sets of 10. So we're gonna start on the right, on my right side. We're gonna alternate. We're gonna do 10 here, 10 here, and then we'll split the difference, okay? So we're gonna come up now. So like you're holding that weight, come up. 1, 2, 3. And you guys keep doing that. For my people who are seated, you do the same thing. You're gonna come up, you're gonna contract more so, and you're gonna hold your position a little bit longer. So hold it for 2 seconds if you're seated down. For that, I want you to focus on your core muscles when you do it. So your butt's gonna come off the chair because I'm little, I have issues with my feet completely on the ground. So we're gonna come up, we're gonna come down, and you're gonna hold it like 1, 2, and you're gonna go up like the weight, like when the weight pulls you up, right? So we're gonna go up. This is for anyone who's seated. And you're just gonna contract for about 2 seconds. So you're gonna hold it a little bit extra than the people who are standing. Just because you're not using your full body. So we're gonna get back to it now. So I'm on drop number 3. So we're gonna go up. And I'm gonna go out. Whew. So that's one for me in my case, okay? For anyone who keeps it simple, just come up and come down, up and come down. But for me, 1 rep is up and out. And you can do that with me too. That's considered 1. So I'm on number 4. I'm gonna go on number 5 now. So we're gonna come up. It's 5, 6. This is 7, 8. That's 9. 1 more. 10. Excellent. So you should start to feel it for anybody who's standing up here and in the muscle and also in your thigh muscles because you're using all of your body. All right, so now I'm gonna scoot over a little bit. Same thing now. So I'll walk you guys through it. So we're gonna come up like we're grabbing our weight. We're gonna hold it, we're gonna tense, we're gonna bring back down. In my case, since I'm doing it this way and this way, that counts as 1 for me. For anyone who's doing it with me, you could literally stay in this one position or the one to the side. It just gives you a little bit of variety depending on what angle is best for you. The whole point of this is that I want you to just learn how to contract your muscles and sort of target certain areas. There's no such thing as toning. However, though, that's why we do weights though. The repetitions to target certain parts of the body, that's what we're trying to do today for reps. But there's no such thing as localized fat reduction. That's a whole other, welcome to my TED Talk for today, guys. All right, so we're gonna go up now. We're gonna start our 10 on this side, okay? So we're gonna go up, contract, down. That's 2. That's number 3. It's 4. If you feel off balance, like our partners over here, I can just grab them and just ask them to hold my hand if you need to. This is 5. So this is gonna require some type of balance from you because again, all your weight is, it's not disproportionate, but you're focused on standing in balance on the right-hand side because it's carrying your left and vice versa. All right, so this is number 7 I'm going on. This is number 8. This is number 9. 10. Excellent job. All right, so we're gonna transition into our foot fire again for 10 seconds. So you're gonna come out with me, and we're gonna move our legs. Just because what I don't want is that your legs start to tighten. So we're gonna take it for 10 seconds. Now we're gonna do just a little full fire. For anyone who's seated in the chair, you should be running with us. So take a moment to breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. All right, so I'm on number 5 now. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, I figure I'd give you guys a little bit of a break just to cool your body down for a second. Because now what we're gonna do, we're not finished with our pull downs, quote unquote. We're gonna alternate sides now. Because if you remember, I said we're gonna do 10 on the right and 10 on the left, and then we'll split the difference. So what that means is that we'll do 5 now on the right and we'll do 5 on the left. But we're gonna make it a little bit more interesting to challenge ourselves. We're gonna alternate. So what we're gonna do is, you can follow along, we're gonna pull our weight, we're gonna come down. That's 1. We're gonna switch sides. That's still 1. So it's technically 1 on 1, so it's 2, but you know what I meant. So we're gonna do that same thing, and we're just gonna alternate now. And then by the time we get up to 5 on both sides, you're done. So, but not to confuse anybody, I'll count it out with you, okay? So we're, in simple terms, we're gonna start on the right, we're gonna alternate, and I'll let you know when we reach 10, okay? So we're gonna go up now. We're gonna reach. All right, so that's 2. 4. You haven't figured it out, it's 1 on each side. 6. 8. Last one. Excellent. All right, so we're gonna jump back into our flip fire for 10 seconds. All right, so I want you to jog now, and we're gonna hold it for 10. All right, I'm at my 5, and we're gonna start to slow down. 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're gonna slow, and we're gonna stop for a second. All right, so let's see. All right, so today's a circuit day. So we're gonna go back into our crisscross punches. So today is gonna be the crisscross punches, pull downs what we were doing when we touched our knee. And then we're gonna do another jog in place, and then we're gonna hit our core muscles, and then we're gonna segue into the second part of it, okay? All right, so we're gonna go back into our stance for tree trunk. One thing I like to do, especially because I know sometimes things may seem a little bit redundant, it's only because once you have something, you can just build on it continuously. And the simpler it is, and the more repetitions you add to it, it becomes harder as time goes on, you know? So a very simple workout, like going up, down, you do that 50 times, you're gonna be dead by the end of the workout, you know? Or better choice of words, you're gonna be more alive during the workout, but your muscles are gonna hurt like hell. So we're gonna drop down, we're gonna get into our tree trunk stance. All right, so for my ladies, stands out wide, booty out, back and chest erect, hands up now. Again, since we already did this is just repeating the circuit now. So we're gonna go up, and we're gonna count on my go. So we're gonna go, and we're gonna take this 10 times, okay, guys? So remember, this is 1, all right, and go. That's 4. This is number 8. And 10. Excellent job. All right, you're gonna come in now. We're gonna do a little full fire for 10 seconds. You're gonna push yourself a little bit more now. All right. 9. If you need a little bit more time to slow it down with me. Excellent. Okay. Now that everybody's loose, we're all warmed up, we got our upper body working on, our lower body work done. Now I'm gonna do something seated actually. So there's gonna be an option for standing, but I'm gonna take a seat for just a second, and I'm gonna take a sip of water. For anybody who needs it, feel free. Remember, take care of yourself, pause, breathe. Go to the bathroom if you need to. If you've kept up this far, excellent job. You know, if you're pushing yourself, I know I don't really give you guys a lot of break time other than the jogging, which you're still moving, so it's not really much of a break. But you know, so we got to do, right? All right. So now we're gonna focus predominantly on our core, and I know I've done these before. I have it here. So elbow to knees, very simple exercise, one of my favorites, and I've seen this a lot for people in the bodybuilding community who do like modified workouts. Men that are like, you know, jacked, they come in, and instead of, you know, doing a lot of weights for some people who, you know, who don't lift weights, you know, this is an alternative form where you can still get a great quality workout, and, you know, you're not hurting yourself in terms of like weight or, you know, injury, things like that. Because again, we try to prevent that. So, all right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our hands. For anyone who's been long enough with me, you already know what's coming. So take our hands, we're gonna go behind our head, we're gonna lock it into place. And again, so what we're gonna do is, again, I have to wiggle off the chair a little bit because I'm smaller. But if you, what was it? If you're a little bit like you're kind of wider reach, you can sit all the way back and just lift your legs up. But for me, I'm forced to because I'm smaller. My feet don't touch the ground. So we're gonna come up, gonna lock our hands, come up here, and that's right, you guessed it. So it's gonna be something very similar to our lateral pull downs, except the only difference is that your elbows are gonna be locked up here. You're gonna bring the opposite knee up. So again, I'm starting on my right hand side. If you couldn't tell, we're gonna bring our opposite leg up, which is the left, and we're gonna touch. The only difference is with this, you're coming all the way down. So it's almost as if you're doing a crunch, except or a bicycle that's in a seated position. And then we're gonna alternate sides. Very simple, but very effective though, because the first thing you're gonna target is this ab region here. When everybody wants like a 6-pack, you're gonna target it right here. So I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna show standing. I'm actually gonna do part of it seated with you guys, and the other part of it I'm gonna do standing. So, but if you want to take a rest, feel free. You're still gonna get the same workout as long as you contract your muscles, okay? So again, our hands are gonna come up, we're gonna lock them, we're gonna intertwine. We're gonna come around the head. I'm holding the back of my head into this position. So my opposite leg is gonna come up now. I'm shifting my gears to the right side. My opposite leg, so it's my left side. I'm gonna come up, I'm gonna touch it, and I'm gonna go down. Very simple. When you get really good, it can get incredibly fast. For these purposes for today, just because I know I'm dealing with a bit of a more seasoned crowd, I like to say it that way. And again, I don't know what your level of athleticism is, but if you want to take it a little bit slower, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna hold it a little bit longer. Even if it's a second more, gonna take it nice and slow. So when you contract, hold it for just a little bit longer than you would, because what you're gonna do is you're gonna burn that muscle up on the inside is what we want. So very simple. We're gonna come back. I'm gonna take my seat now. I'm gonna scoop. And we're gonna start, okay? So let me see what's my count for today. We're gonna do, I don't have a count. All right, so we're gonna see how we feel that today. I didn't do 3 sets of 10 rules today, so we're gonna try, let's do 15 guys, and we'll do 2 sets. So we'll do 30 total, and we'll see how you feel. If it's too much for you in the comments, just drop us a comment below, let us know how you're doing. All right, so we're gonna start. So this is 1, okay? So very simple. When both of your knees touch both of your elbows, that's 1 set, okay? So that's just 1 repetition. And we're gonna start, and our first count is to go up to 15. All right, so our hands are locked, our knees are ready. I'm scooted, now we're gonna go. So we're gonna go, let's do it. 1, 2, 5, 10 I'm coming on. And hold it. We'll do our next 5. 11. Make sure when you're doing it that you're digging into the muscle of your core. Make sure you're contracting them and also squeezing them at the same time. So when you go down, make sure you're contracting your inner muscles, but also bringing them down to touch the knee appropriately. If you can't come all the way, I'll take it, even if you kind of just are in the proximity of your knee to your elbow, okay? Well, the point of this is that we want to target this region. So this is number 13 I'm going on. Our last 2, and our first set will be completed. 1 more. Excellent job. We're gonna take our deep breath. We'll take that for 5 seconds. Again, if you need a drink, take your time. If you need to breathe, just to let out some of the tension, depending on where your athleticism is. I'm okay right now. I'm not burning up just yet, which means I gotta amp up the pace for myself. All right, and now we're gonna drop it to our second set. We're gonna do the same thing. Again, remember, hands together, they're locked in, and this is 1 set. That's 1 rep, okay? All right, so we're gonna do another 15, and we're gonna see how we feel, and it will either transition into the next exercise, or we may add another 15 in total, okay? All right, so we're on our second set now, and we're gonna go. 1, 'This is number 5. And this is number 10 I'm on. We're gonna hold it. Deep breaths. And on our last 5. One more, guys. Excellent job. All right, since I'm okay, I hope you guys are doing well with me. I'm actually gonna do 1 more set of this. So we're gonna do another 15, except I'm gonna stand now. I think for me, as much as I like to be seated, I prefer standing, just because I feel like I can really get into my core. I'd offer that you challenge yourself if you need to. If you find that, you know, you don't feel as sore as you'd like to be, or you don't feel like you're working your abdominal muscles or your muscles in general, switch position, challenge yourself a little bit. And if you need help, ask the surrounding people around you. If you're by yourself, consult us after. So, all right, guys, so I'm gonna do another 15. So you've done 30 in total, so congratulations. And we're gonna add another 15, so it's gonna be 45 in total of just this core and upper body exercise alone, okay? So we're gonna come up now, hands up, and we're locked in. All right, so let's finish out strong. We're gonna do our last 15 total, so no break at number 10. We're just gonna go 15 strong, okay? All right, and go. It's 1. This is 5. Now you see how I'm picking up the pace? I'm able to do that just because, again, my body's already conditioned, so it's gonna take me a little bit longer. For anyone who's doing it with me though, and again, you're building your stamina, slow it down. So again, so hold the muscle, like I've said earlier. Again, it's all subjective, it's at your own pace. But again, depending on what your goals are, don't feel the need to keep up with me. Only do it the best that you can. If you're on 11 and I'm done, perfectly fine. Make sure you get your best quality workout for yourself. All right, so I'm gonna start over. We're gonna start from ground zero, just because I stopped midway through. All right, so now I'm gonna finish out strong my last 15 now, okay? So we're gonna go 1. I'll go a little bit slower, just so I can contract my muscles with you guys. This is number 5 I'm coming along. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, keep going. 11, 12, 13, 14. One more, guys. One more. Come on, we can make it to 20. 2 more, let's go. All right, 18. We're probably at like 21 by now. One more. All right, we can stop at this one here. Excellent job, everybody. Woo! All right, I'm gonna take a sip of water real quick. Hopefully you guys are a little bit sweaty or a little bit loose now. All right, so the next exercise, I'm gonna do a quick time check, see where we're at. All right, so we still got 20 minutes left. All right, so with your handy dandy water bottle, we're gonna transition away from our standing abs within the included elbows. Actually, I'm gonna take one that's not open so that I don't get water all over me. All right, so if you have some type of weight, a water bottle or something, this will be effective for this exercise, and it's recommended. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. You can follow along with me, the best to your abilities. And if not, whenever you have your own spare time, if you want to try it with the weight, you can. I highly recommend for people who don't lift, little baby 2-pounders, phenomenal job, especially too, because after a while, when you hold the weight above your head for a really long time, it does start to hurt. People have this misnomer that, you know, just because it's a 2-pound weight doesn't mean it hurts. You hold something for about 10, 20 minutes, trust me, even the biggest and strongest person, that weight starts to kill after a while. So what we're gonna do is, with my little water bottle over here, we're gonna take this standing. This exercise is standing. I don't have a modified version of it. So if you're able to stand, please stand. If you're not following the best you can, or if you have a partner, utilize them in any way you can. So with this little weight, let's pretend it's a little baby 2-pounder, like I mentioned, or even maybe a 5-pounder for that matter. So what we're gonna do is, the weight's gonna come up, and we're gonna hold it above our head, and we're gonna be working our lower abs. And again, all the exercises that we've done today are sort of repetitive, but it's also so they can build on each other. And that way you also have a variety to pick from whichever one that you like. And then when you're by yourself, if you're with your aides or in your own community, you pick apart what you like, and then you just add on more reps, or if not, you figure out what works best for you. And that's what I like. That's the best thing to do. That way you can modify it to your own liking. So again, I have my weight up here for a little bit now, but all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep the weight above my head, and I'm just gonna bring my leg up. And very simple. We're just gonna come up, and I'm looking straight ahead. But with this weight here, we're gonna do 20 reps, and we're gonna alternate. So when my leg comes up, I drop it down, that's 2. So it's gonna go 1 and 2. 1 and 2. So that's the count. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, just so that you can follow along with me. But the whole point of this is that when I do this, so this weight doesn't drop, it keeps my focus, and it also works my upper body because I have to continuously hold this weight. And with me lifting my legs up, I'm contracting my lower abs. This is technically an ab workout, but it also forces you to focus because let's say if this wasn't like a water bottle or it's a 10-pound weight, if that weight falls, you can injure yourself. And that's what we're always trying to avoid. So we start you out with something small. Personally, I like to actually do this exercise with anywhere between 5 to 10 weights. Again, that's for people that are more advanced. I would never recommend that for someone who's a beginner. Little 2-pound weight or a little water bottle or something with just some type of difference that you could feel. All right, so we're gonna bring our 2-pound weight up, and very simple. We're gonna bring the leg up, and we're gonna bring our knee up, and we're gonna contract the muscle here. Again, we're not starting. I'm just showing you guys very simply. Okay, all right. Hope you're all with me. So we're gonna go up now, and we're gonna take this, and we're gonna go. What did I say? 20 times. We're gonna do 20. And we're gonna alternate. So remember, counts 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way you get to 20, and then you can stop. And then we're gonna switch sides to the left side, okay? And go. So 1, 2. If you need more balance, another thing you could do is put your hand out. Just if you don't feel like if you're gonna fall over for whatever reason, sometimes having your hand out, it balances out your body. So that's another thing that you could do. I'm going on number 7. This is 8. And again, my focus is here on my abs. This is 9, 10, and already, guys, I'm starting to feel it like all up in my upper arm already, and the weight's getting heavy. And again, if you don't have your weights, it's perfectly fine. Keep your hand erect and keep your arm, keep your arm high up as if you do have a weight there. This is number 15. 18, 19, and 20. And I'm gonna drop. Normally you could drop the weight if it's a rubber weight. I'm just gonna put it down for just a second. If you have to shake your arm out, shake your arm out. Please feel free. And now we're gonna switch over hands now. Same exercise. Hand's gonna go, arms gonna go up. It's above my head. And also too, rule of thumb for weightlifters or people gripping. Grip the weight. Grip the water bottle as you would grip a weight. Don't think because it's a water bottle, again, this teaches you form and how to grip something from falling out of your hands. So when you grip, wrap around and hold on tight to it. Not enough to create too much tension in the wrists, but just enough for this mobility, but also too where it's firm enough where if someone tries to knock it out of your hand, it's not gonna fall, okay? Because again, everything has a purpose. Just because it's a water bottle doesn't mean that the exercise isn't effective. It means that you're getting creative with it. So we're gonna come up now, we're gonna hold it, and I'm gonna start on my left side. Remember the counts 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna continue up into 20, okay? So we're gonna go up. So I'm gonna start on my left side. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, my hand needs to come off for more balance, for balancing issues. Feel free, or coordination. This is 5, 6. And remember, we're trying to feel it here, so we're contracting here when we bring our knee up, okay? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18, 2 more, guys. And 20. Excellent job. I'm gonna put my weight down. I'm gonna shake out my arm. Just because for me, after, like I said, and if I hope that you feel it after a while, either that if you do have a weight, you'll feel it more because of the uneven weight distribution and holding the weight above your head. You'll start to feel it in your shoulder blades. And for me, it's all along right here that I'm feeling it. So if you have to shake out your arm, please feel free. All right. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that one more set and we're gonna do one more all together, except we're gonna alternate again, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring my weight up again. We're gonna start on the right-hand side. And we're gonna take this 10 times, except I have a twist on it now. So we're gonna start on the right. We're gonna go 1, 2, switch. 1, 2, and switch. 1, 2, and switch, and etc. Okay? So in terms of the count, you're gonna do 1, 2, and then you'll switch, and that counts as 1. So you're gonna do your normal set on the right side, that counts for 1 on the right, and when you complete it on the left, that counts for another one. So it'll be 1, 2 once you finish. Okay? So very simple. I'll count along with you to make it easier. And then we're just gonna alternate sides up until we get to 20, okay? And that'll be our last step before we go in, we transition towards the end of our workout. So we're gonna bring our water bottle up. Again, we're gonna practice our grip strength. We're gonna grip our water bottle, pretend it's a weight. We're gonna bring it above the head. And we're gonna start. 1, switch. 2. Going on number 6. We're gonna switch. Number 8. Number 9. Number 10. So you're halfway through, guys. It's number 11 on the right side. 13. Bring that weight up. 14. All right. Almost done, guys. Doing great for me. Keep it up. I'm on number 17. I got 3 more to go, so finish out with me. It's 18. 19. And the last one. We're coming up. Excellent job, everybody. All right, so we're gonna do a little flip fire for about 10 seconds, except we're gonna slow it down. So you're finished with that circuit, you're finished with that, you're finished with your upper body and your core exercises for today. I'm gonna take a sip of water real quick. I'm actually really sweaty and gross, so we did something right today. Take a sip of water. Now we're gonna jump into our foot fire. So we're gonna take this for about 10 seconds. At this point, you should be feeling it in different parts of your body. For me, I predominantly feel it in my upper body, holding the weight. I feel it in my core, contracting my core muscles. And I also feel it in my lower legs as I'm running. So we're doing this kind of just to loosen up our lower legs so that they don't tighten up on us. So we're gonna run for about 10 seconds, just lightly jog, nothing crazy. And you see my pace? I want you to keep up with me now, just go nice and slow. 8, 9, and 10, except we're not gonna stop. Go an extra second or 2, bring it down, rest, and pause, excellent. All right, I'm just doing a brief time check to see where we're at. So in our last 7 minutes, I am gonna show you guys just something else for next workout when I'm here. I can't believe that we're already going into August, it's truly phenomenal. And I've almost been with you guys for almost a year. It'll be a year in September since I started, or maybe August, I'm not even sure. I'm really thankful to be here with everybody. I hope you guys have had a great workout so far. We're not quite done yet. We're gonna transition now into our cool down period. For next workout, if you can have weights with you or have baby weights or water bottles, maybe a little bit bigger than these. For our next workout, what I like to do is I'd actually like to do weights. So I'm just going to show you a little preview, and then we're going to start with our cool down exercises, being that we're in our last 5 to 7 minutes. So generally what I like to do, very simple. So I have my 2 water bottles here. You can actually follow along with me, so that way, you know, you're prepped for next time if you're on with me. Or next time you might be with Coach Elaine, but if you want, you can come to my Saturday special. I'm the queen of Saturdays, every Saturday at 9 a.m. Not everyone, but every once a month on Saturdays. But generally that's when my time slot is. So if you don't want to be with the other coaches, you can come and holler at my class. So, all right, so I have my 2 water bottles, right? And if anyone is familiar with weightlifting, which I hope all of you are, if you're not, totally fine. So I have them here, and we would just do a simple bicep curl. So my body here. So I'm just showing you from the side. We're gonna bring it up. And this is actually something that you could do at home. I know this is for next class, for next workout, but being that we're almost running out of time today, you could actually take this when you're by yourself and you're not on our programs, or if you're not at YPL, either virtually or somewhere else, you could do it by yourself at home, which is something I like to implement with you guys when I'm not with you. So again, a simple bicep curl. I have my weights. They're here out in front of me in this L formation. And what I'm doing is I'm contracting my muscle. As you can see, I'll come up closer to the camera, and I just bring it up. And a rule of thumb that my brothers taught me is that when you come up, right, and you're contracting that bicep curl, you want to hold your body tight to your center, not too close, but close enough where there's no slack. And what you want to do is that you want to contract the muscle, kind of like we were doing today. We weren't doing full-on bicep curls, but just enough to work out those muscles though. And what I do is I hold it for about a second or 2, and then I drop the weight. Maybe not as fast, but the whole point of this is to contract the muscle about a second or 2, and then bring your weight down to reset and get into your next rep. So that's a basic bicep curl. Another thing that we'll be doing probably in our next class, I'm going to bring the weights. So triceps, you could do it with the chair. That's a more modified version if you don't have weights. But again, it has to do with the level of technique and athleticism you're at. So I'm going to steer away from the chair. But if you have your baby weights, something we'll be doing for next class. And again, you could do this with me in our cool down right now, because I'm showing you for our next class. We've come back. And this works my tricep muscle, which is the back muscle here. This is the helper to the bicep. So I'm in just a basic stance, nothing crazy. My feet are shoulder width apart, not even, maybe a little bit smaller. And I'm bringing the weight straight back, and I'm contracting my tricep, and I'm bringing it forward. So I'm going backwards. I'm contracting my tricep, which is this muscle here. As I bring it back, I keep the weight straight, and I come forward. That's a tricep. So that targets those muscles. We did our biceps. And then for our next class, we'll do something called like a shoulder press, where we would take our weights, we'd come down, we could go above our head. This could be seated too. And again, I know I'm just showing you guys all of this, but if you would want to do it along with me, you can. Very simple. This is a shoulder press. It's supposed to work all the upper shoulder blades and also part of the back muscles. Again, this is biceps and then triceps for next class. Okay. All right. So very quickly now, because I know we're running out of time. Got like 3 minutes, which is more than enough. We're gonna go like what we did earlier in our warm up. What I'm gonna do is have your legs out for me, just like this. We're gonna reach. We're gonna go upward. And we're gonna stretch out. We're gonna go a little bit back. So again, I'm gonna go up, hands up. We're gonna reach toward the ceiling, and we're gonna go back. Take our deep breath. I'm gonna pull forward. And now I'm gonna try to go down as far as I can. What I want you to do, I want you to push yourself just a little bit and go past whatever you think is your threshold. So if you can only come here, try to go a little bit lower. And if you could go here, go a little bit lower. Go a little bit beyond where your comfort zone is. Just a little bit. And what we're doing right now, as my back is bent over, I'm actually stretching out like my hamstrings and my calves actually as I'm bending over. Because what it does is that my back is creating tension this way, and it's pulling the muscles, which is what I want. Just because we did part of our legs today, even though legs wasn't the focus today, we still got to hit those muscles just to make sure they're good to go for the next class. All right, we're gonna go one more up. And we're gonna come down. I'm gonna end here. So I'm reaching towards the camera. And then we're gonna come back. If you have a chair, you can take a seat. I'll sit with you guys for just a second. What we're gonna do is now you're gonna follow along with me, hand over, or we're gonna pull. And you can hold this for about 5 seconds. Gonna come out, hand over, up. Gonna hold it for 5 seconds. We're gonna go out. Let's take our left hand, bring it out, go down. Right hand comes out. And we're gonna pull that way. We're gonna hold up for 5 seconds now. And we're gonna do the same thing on the opposite side. So hands come out, go back around, hand comes up, we're gonna take that elbow, or we're gonna pull that way. So up. We're gonna go up. Excuse me, we're gonna go out and then we're gonna go up. So we're gonna do that twice. So we're gonna go out. And while I do that, I'm contracting on my upper back, my upper shoulder blades. So when you come out, I want you to contract your shoulder blades and then relax them. So we're gonna do one more. So we're gonna go out, hold it for just a second, and then let go of the tension and bring the arms up. And because I'm seated today, we're gonna finish here. Probably just have like another minute left. It might be over, but it's okay. We're just gonna, if you're seated, you could stay in your seat. If you like, if you're standing, you can get to the ground. I'm actually gonna stay in the ground real quick. I'm gonna close my eyes, and for the administration too, who are on, just take a moment for yourself. Close your eyes with everybody. We're gonna take 5 deep breaths. It's 2. And all I'm doing is I'm breathing in and I'm just holding for about 2 seconds. I'm holding until I feel comfortable and I'm ready to release it. One more. And we're just gonna release. And today we're finished, guys. We did a phenomenal job with everybody who kept up with me today. I always like to finish my workouts with some breathing exercise just to kind of bring us back to the present. We spend a lot of our time putting stress on our bodies through working out and trying to get into shape, but at the end of the day, you always come home to yourself. So breathing is one of the best ways you can finish your workout, and I highly recommend it. We're finished for today, guys, because I believe